Hello, hello, welcome. Thanks for joining me. Hello to all my live viewers, to all my replay viewers. Hello, thanks for joining me. Hello, welcome. My name is Tutt, and I do craft scopes. So today I'm going to show you all this cool technique called shadow stamping. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. These are the stamps I'm going to use. This stamp right here, and this one right here. Cool. I'll show you all what it looks like real quick. This is the stamp image right here on white cardstock. Thanks for the hearts. Y'all are sweet. I missed y'all. I haven't been on here in like a week. Normally I'm on here every other day. Hello. Thanks for joining me. Welcome. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. If you just joined, hello. If you just joined, the name of the technique is shadow stamping. So let's start with the big stamp. I'm going to start with this stamp right here. So what you need is whatever image of choice stamp that you want and one ink. And the color I'm using today is Lagoon. And what you're going to do is you're going to turn your stamp backwards. Hi from Colombia. Hey, welcome. So this is my stamp. You have the side where you normally stamp the image. What you're going to do is turn it backward to the flat side, okay? You want to put it on your stamping block, on your acrylic block. Hey, thanks for joining me. So you're doing it backwards, okay? That's where the shadow technique comes in. Let me place this a little better on here. At any time, if you have any questions, just ask. Let me know. So I placed the stamp image on the stamping block backwards, okay? Then you're going to just, let me move this so you can see. You're just going to place it on top of your ink pad, just like this. And remember, this is the back of the image of the stamp. Ooh, Canada. Guess what? I've been to Canada. I've drove through Canada. Oh, North Kakalaki, hey. So, I have been to Canada. I didn't get to visit too long. So the reason I went through Canada is because I was in Alaska. We were in the military, so we were stationed in Anchorage, Alaska, and we drove from Alaska to Cheyenne, Wyoming. I will never do that again. It took almost a week. It was horrible. Canada was beautiful, but it was horrible. Hey, Deb's in the room. Hey. So after you stamp your image here, you're going to sit here. Just take a piece of scrap paper, and you're going to stamp the image onto your scrap paper, just to remove some of the ink. Yes, it was a long drive. My husband did most of it. So then we're going to get the cardstock that you're going to use on your project. And then let's place it in the center. So some of the ink is off, right? Because we're doing shadow stamping. So this image right here is not going to be as dark since we used the scrap paper first. So it's very light. You probably can't even see that. Once you do that, you clean your block. Just bear with me. It's going to be pretty when I finish. Oh, you only speak a little bit of English. Okay, so now you're going to turn the stamp over to the right side. So now we have the stamp placed on our block properly. We're going to use the same color ink. Ink our stamp up. If I'm missing comments, I'm sorry. So yeah, so me and my husband drove all the way from Alaska to Cheyenne, Wyoming. Oh, thanks, Deb. So we only stopped once, and it was in, correct me if I'm wrong, my person in here from Canada. We stopped in Edmonton, Canada. I think that's where it was. It's where it's one of the largest malls in the world, where they have the roller coaster in the mall, and a whole bunch of different theme areas and things like that. Yes, I think that was it. Well, wherever that was, that's when we stopped. So my husband would nap while I drove, and then we would switch, and then he would drive, and we just did that. So we only stopped one day. So I think it was a total of 4 days before we reached Cheyenne, Wyoming. Okay, so what I just did was I turned the stamp over, inked it up, and then I placed it over the first image. So if you can see that, that is called shadow stamping. So you see, I'll hold this up so you can compare it. This is without the shadow stamping. So if you were just to take your stamp and stamp on the cardstock, that's what it would look like, with no shadow in the background or distressed look in the background. But if you do like I told you and turn your, and I'll do it one more time for those who missed the whole technique. So if you don't have daubers at home, this is a good way to get this image. Also, it's the image will come out a little more crisp and clean if you do it this way instead of using daubers. So you see the little shadow. Hopefully you all can see that real good. So I'll do it one more time using a different stamping image. So let's see. Thank you. If you have any questions, let me know. So I'm going to pick a different stamp this time and a different color ink. This time we're going to use Pacifica. If you can tell, I love my blue and green colors. Let's see. Okay, so this is the stamp image we're going to use. So again, you take whatever stamp image you're going to use and you turn it over backwards and place it on your block. Remember, it has to be backwards, so this side is smooth and flat. And you're going to ink it up. Then you're going to take it and place it on your scrap paper to get some of the ink off of this stamp. So here's my scrap paper, and some of the ink is off of it now. So now on whatever project you're using, now you're going to take it and stamp that project. And you know what, I'm going to do this about, I'm going to do 2 of these so you can see how cool it's going to look. Okay, so again, removing some of the ink off of it. And then I'm going to stamp it here on the project. Okay, so now that that's done, you clean this. Now you're going to turn the stamp over to the right side. Okay? And then you're going to use that same ink. Ink the stamp up. Just like this. Okay, so once you ink the stamp up, you're going to go over the shadow image, okay? And then once I finish, I will hold it up closer so you all can see how cool it's going to look. Okay, ink it one more time. I'm removing the ink in the beginning. So you see, if I didn't remove the ink, this is what it would look like. See how dark it is? So then when I go to restamp over this, you won't get the effect that I got here. See how darker it is? You want a lighter color in the background. So I remove the ink first, get this light color, and then I use the normal shade to stamp over it. Yes. Got it. We got it. We're on the same page. Now what you could do, that was a great question, because what you could do is just get 2 coordinating inks. You can just use, if you have a lot of ink to work with at home, you can just get a lighter blue and a darker blue and 2 coordinating colors and do it that way. But if you want it to be really close in the color family of what you're working on, this is just another way to do that. Okay, so this is the last one. Thanks for the hearts. Y'all are sweet. Thank you. Oh, no problem. You're good here. I love when people ask questions. So there you have it. And I'll show you all what the stamp looked like if we didn't do that. Does anyone have any questions? Do anyone have any questions for me? Thank you, Megan. So that's what it would have looked like if we didn't do that shadow technique. And then this is what it looks like with the shadow technique. You're right, you gotta ask to learn. So if you're working on a project, this is a cool technique to use. Add a little dimension to your project, jazz it up a little bit, make it a little different. Thank you, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Let me show y'all my craft room. It is a mess. I've been so busy. After the holidays, school started back up, so my kids have been keeping me busy. My room hasn't looked like this in like years. Everything is normally organized. I have stuff over here on the floor. It's just a hot mess. All right, does anyone have any other questions for me? All right, everyone, enjoy your day. I have to go pick up my kiddos, my boys.